Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Survivalist Boards. I'm your host Kevin, the founder of Survivalist Boards. While I was going through some of my videos the other day, I saw a topic we have not talked about in several years, and that is storing food in Mylar bags. Let's revisit this topic and talk about storing food in Mylar bags. Whenever I store food in Mylar bags, I think about what I'm going to be storing. Am I going to be storing oats, rice, beans, spaghetti, pasta, something else at that time, and get all your food products ready. Think about serving size. Are you going to be storing in half-gallon bags? Are you going to be storing in quart-size bags? I usually try to go for about the half-gallon to 1-gallon size bags. Also, next is buy the thickest bag you can find. When ordering your Mylar bags, consider about ordering the thickest bag you can find. And also, look for ones that have a ziplock on the end of it. Some bags are just open on the end, and some have a ziplock. There's been a few times that I'm sure I did something wrong. Whenever I sealed that Mylar bag, went back to a little while later, and it did not hold the vacuum. Whenever that oxygen absorber was doing its job and that bag was sucking in, the seal came undone. It's probably something I did. So if you order that one with that Ziploc seal, that good solid Ziploc seal, it adds a double layer. Put your rice in there, throw the oxygen absorber in, finish filling it up with rice, get as much air out as you can, seal it, put an iron on it, you're good to go. That way it's double sealed. Do not mix things with different cook times. And people say, man, I've got me some rice and beans. I've got that rice and beans stockpiled. But instead of, hey, you know what? Why don't we just store the rice and beans together? Yeah, let's just mix it into a bowl, and we'll pour it into those Mylar bags, seal it up. The rice and the beans have different cook times. Is that whenever you're cooking the beans, you're going to soak them overnight and then cook them the next day. And rice, well, it's ready to go just in a few minutes. So if you do mix them and then you go to cook them, you're going to find that if you cook the rice until it's done, your beans are still a day away from being ready. So the rice and the beans have different cook times. Storing stuff with sharp edges. I've seen, and now hang on, sharp edges. What do you mean sharp edges? I've seen people that have stored like pasta in Mylar bags. And they'll take the little Twizzler type pasta or the macaroni and cheese and stuff and put it in a Mylar bag, seal it up, go back to it a few days later, a week or so later, and that sharp edge of the pasta has poked a hole in the Mylar bag. Even spaghetti. There's some pictures on the forums of people stockpiling spaghetti. Show that spaghetti in that Mylar bag, throw an oxygen absorber in it, seal it up, go back to it a few days later, a week or later or so, after that oxygen absorber's had time to suck that down. And guess what? Spaghetti's poked through the Mylar bag. That's why I says that consider buying the thickest, most heaviest duty Mylar bags that you can afford. Okay. Collect my thoughts. Okay. Also, you ordering one with a Ziploc seal allows you to reseal the bag. You're going to open it up, you're going to get you some rice out, be able to seal the bag. It's got its own built-in sealer in it, so you don't have to worry about using clothespins or something after the bag has been opened. Anything with animal byproducts, if it's got any type of oil, butter, dehydrated butter, just anything, do not store like Bisquick. No Bisquick. Only fully dehydrated food products, your beans, your rice, your lentils, your oatmeal, stuff like that. Some people say, well, what's the difference between freeze-dried and dehydrated? Aren't they the same? No. Freeze-dried is totally different from dehydration. Totally different. Freeze-dried is where they flash freeze it and then put it into a vacuum chamber, and that vacuum chamber sucks all the moisture out of it. And so, no, it's not even, freeze-dried is space-age technology. Dehydration is just putting it in an oven or a dehydrator, pulling all the moisture out. So like macaroni and cheese, if you're going to stockpile macaroni and cheese, put your macaroni and cheese in there, and that little cheese packet, take that cheese packet, throw it away. Anything with like added flavorings or dyes or any type of chemical, anything that has any type of man-made added chemical in it, don't do it, because you don't know how those chemicals are going to break down over the years. Storing like oatmeal, for an example. Oatmeal is a wonderful, wonderful thing to store in Mylar bags. Super is cheap, super easy to store in Mylar bags. You can do portion planning. So let's say that you take 2 ounces of oatmeal. And that would be a breakfast somebody. Take a couple of eggs out of your garden, or not out of your garden. Take a couple of eggs out of the chicken house, have it on a couple of eggs, 2 ounces of oatmeal. You've got yourself a good, healthy breakfast from your preps. So you know that 2 ounces of oatmeal is going to make a serving. So if you stockpile 10 pounds of oatmeal, that's 160 ounces. That's 80 servings of oatmeal. That's 80 servings from that 10 pounds of oatmeal. And so then you can go and you can plan, okay, well, and that's, now we're getting into super pails. Oh, let's not worry about super pails, guys. Let's just stay with the Mylar bags. Think about what you're going to be stockpiling. You're going to do oats, rice, beans. Just very basic, easy to start with. Say you're going to do a half a gallon of each. Get yourself enough rice, beans, oatmeal to do a couple of half gallons. Then order your oxygen absorbers. Oxygen absorbers are going to come in a little sealed packet. And do not open them until you're ready to use them. You're going to take your Mylar bags, you're going to set them up. You're going to fill them about halfway. Yes, about halfway. Take that oxygen absorber. Let's say you've got 10 oxygen absorbers, you got 10 bags. Fill them all, have all your stuff, make sure you've got plenty of supplies. Take that oxygen absorber, open it up, drop it in there, finish filling it up. Some people put the oxygen absorber on the very end. Throw the oxygen absorber in there, seal it. The oxygen absorber, finish filling it, seal it, seal it, seal it, seal it. Then go through and use your iron and finish with your heat sealing of the Mylar bag. Be sure to label the outside of what it is. I usually take a magic marker, and not on the side of the bag, not on the side of the Mylar bag, but up on the tab that you've heat sealed. And I will write beans or rice or oatmeal or macaroni and cheese or whatever else it is. And then the date. That's all there is to it, guys. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's simple. I see a lot of people talking on the forums or out there on YouTube say, man, I'm really interested in getting into Mylar. I want to store stuff in Mylar bags, but I don't know how to do it. Just do it, guys. Okay. There's some charts out there that'll say, the charts will say, use this size oxygen absorber for this size bag. I like double the size of the oxygen absorber. Costs you a few pennies more, but it's overkill. You know you're really getting in there real good. Then I do not like to do different size Mylar bags. Like, let's say you're going to do a half a gallon, then a quart, or whatever else. No, just do them all the same size, order all the same size oxygen absorbers, have all your stuff ready to go, fill them up, put your oxygen absorber in, seal it. That way you don't have to worry about buying, well, I've got a quart size of this that I'm going to be doing, and I've got a half a gallon size of this, and I've got a gallon size of this, so I'm going to order 3 different size oxygen absorbers. No. Order one size oxygen absorber that'll fit. That's overkill for the small ones, that's twice as big as you need for the big ones, and be done with it. Simplify it, guys. So what if it costs you a few extra pennies? Just go with it. Make things simple. Rice, all right, pack up sugar, salt. Yes, you can store them in a Mylar bag. Do not add an oxygen absorber. Don't do it. Don't add oxygen absorber. Flour. I know some people store flour in Mylar bags. I've always worried about the weevils, but with oxygen absorber, cornmeal, stuff like that, yeah, why not? Just do it, okay? Just experiment, do it, play around with it. Do your Mylar bags, open them up in a couple of years, open one up in a couple of years, like cook some beans out of one of my bags the other day. It'd been stored for 6 years, 7 years. Oh, I need some pinto beans. Open it up, got some beans out of it, cooked them up. Okay, guys and gals, that's it for now. If you have any suggestions, if you have any comments, please post them, please share them. Let's help each other in the community. That Mylar bags, you store your food in a Mylar bag. It's got a good oxygen absorber in it. You put it in the closet. It doesn't get a hole poked in it. How long will it last? Anywhere from 20 to 30 years. Like oatmeal, stored in a good Mylar bag with a good oxygen absorber. They're saying 30-year lifespan for oatmeal, 20, 25, 30 years for rice, 20, 25, 30 years for beans. Do not store brown rice in Mylar bags. The brown rice, the husk or the still got some oil on it. So it breaks down where white rice does not. So do not store brown rice in Mylar bags. All right, guys and gals, that's it for now. Let's do that again. All right, guys and gals, that's it for now. I will talk to y'all later.